Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Blackburn Rovers. Happy birthday to you. Right, folks, back once again with another match review, looking back at Blackburn Rovers' response to the Fulham shit show, of course, from midweek, with, of course, a win, that's right, up against Sheffield United. We'll talk about it in a minute. A big shout out to my VIPs. Of course, if you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe and get your back up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, World Football related. We got it all here, boys. Under one Rooski, that's right, Rovers responded the right way on the field today with a 3-1 win over Sheffield United. Of course, Premier League team this team last year. Of course, a big response by Blackburn Rovers as, of course, we try to right the wrongs from the midweek. We'll take a look at it, all of it in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. Of course, if you're new, get in amongst it. So here we go then. Let's recap the game itself. I'm losing my voice, guys, because it was a very, very explosive match. Rovers coming at you. 3-1 win in the end. Goals coming from Rhian Brewster with a Bobby Dazzler. I don't want to knock this goal because it was an absolute cherry on top. What I do want to knock is Rovers' concentration levels. Of course, I know we win. I know we win quite comfortably, quite handsomely at the end of it. But you've got to be switched on from the first whistle all the way through to the 90 to be good at to be in that bracket at the end of the season. Rhian Brewster, though, the best goal of the day, no questions asked. Ball comes in, bit of a mess at the back. Scotty Wharton probably at fault, I would say. Ball can whip it on the volley. Top bins, can't get to it. Kaminsky. Sheffield United the lead. I'm not necessarily saying that they deserve the lead, but you know they showed their quality, they showed their stuff, and at that point I thought, you know what, we're in for a tonking here. But guess what? We stepped up the plate. The low knees today were the key. Of course, we'll have a look at the starting lineup in a minute, but of course, both Khadra, both Poveda, both started, and both of them had major influences of this game. Of course, Khadra got us back into it 37th minute on the clock. Not the prettiest goal in the world, but of course, they all count in the end. Scrappy, dappy, do effort, got in the box, put the ball in the back of the bins, of course, to give us a level pegging at half-time. Took that on the chin. That was great. Second half, it was big bad boy Poveda and Diaz on the score sheet once again to give Rovers the lead. Of course, 59 minutes on the clock again. Not the most prettiest goal in the world, but hey, none of them were for Rovers today. They all count though at the end. And then we sealed the bloody deal on the 70th minute. Poveda worked his arse all day, and of course bounced back as well with a 3-1 win. And that was of course the third goal for Rovers. That's of course the goals. What about of course the stats there? 61% possession for Sheffield United, 39% possession for Rovers. We had 12 shots on the day, 5 of them off target. The rest of them, 3 of them were saved, which of course would leave 4. I think maybe a block in there or something like that. As for Sheffield United, 9 shots for them. 3 of them off target, 3 of them saved as well. 3 must have been blocked as well by Rovers. Of course, quite a lot of corners. 8 corners for Sheffield United, 4 for Rovers. 12 free kicks as well for Rovers. Of course, 9 for Sheffield United. Fouls, 13 for Sheffield United, 9 for Rovers. And again, offsides, 4 times for Rovers. Diaz, criminal in that regard. But he got a goal. Of course, that's just all that counts in the end. Kicking off forward then, let's take a look at the detailed stats. Of course, we'll break it down. Sheffield United were a little bit unlucky as they chased to get themselves back into it. They could have had a couple of goals themselves, but Rovers really, I think, deserved this in the end. I know we didn't have the possession, but that doesn't really care. We had more shots when we had our possession. We made it count in the attacking department. This is the the first and second half combined here. What did we do? We dominated the air. Did we dominate the air? Yes, we did. Duels won, 57 of them. Of course, 13 of them were won in the air. We had more tackles as well, more interceptions, and we cleared the ball as well 27 times compared to their 17. They had more passes, more accurate passes, 81% compared to our 77. So a good response there from Rovers. We had 4 counter-attacks. Big chances, of course, we had, and we didn't miss any of them. There 2 big chances and missed both of them. And of course, both sides did hit the woodwork as well. That's, of course, the combined stats. Take a look at the first half. First half then, 6% possession for Sheffield United, 40% for us. Again, shots around about the same. Rovers were not at the races in the first half, but of course, getting ourselves back in the game right at the death, of course, was massive in the rest of the game. As you see down the bottom there, not much going on in regards to big chances for either of the two sides. It was kind of you know, Sheffield United took the lead. They kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit, where I think they probably should have been trying to press a bit more if they were trying to really go for us. But unfortunately, we got the better of them today at the end of it. Possession lost 81 down to the bottom there for Sheffield United, compared to Rovers 78. Again, more tackles and interceptions for Rovers over Sheffield United. As for the second half, Rovers were much more attacking, much more involved, even though the possession stats, again, a little bit less than the first half, but it doesn't really matter. We got the more shots and, of course, more goals as well. 2 goals to Sheffield United, 0 in the second half. And, again, a lot of favourable stats for Rovers in the second half. How about, of course, the starting lineups? We'll start with Rovers. Of course, Kaminsky between sticks, Taylor Donut left back, Nyambi at right back, Lanahan and Wharton made up the back four. Again, when we looked at this, I looked at this and I thought, what on earth am I looking at? Travis, Davenport and Buckley, Khadra, Poveda and Diaz. Again, it was a makeshift team and not really expecting this. Rothwell on the bench, Dunn on the bench. No Ranky Costello anywhere near the side. Gallagher as well. No Ayala. It looked like we were going to get our asses pounded to us, but of course the 2 loanees stood up to the plate there, of course, and provided that extra pizzazz up top, surprise factor. No one knows too much about both of these 2 players, but again they showed us what we've been missing and why they've been brought to the club, and hopefully we'll see more of that as well into a favourable month or favourable 4 or 5 matches up ahead for Rovers. Got some sticky wickets in there, but of course we've got a good chance to maybe get some more points on the board as well. As for the midfield trio, I'm not too sure about Davenport today. I wasn't really that involved, but Buckley, his vision, his precision, it was fantastic. Delivering the ball, Travis doing the donkey work, not getting a lot of credit, but of course I'm going to give him a big old fat well done as well. As for their opposition, of course Sheffield United had Olsen between sticks, Stebbins at left back, Bogle, Egan and Basher made up the power 4 there. Fleck, Norwood, Gibbs White, Osborne, Brewster and Sharp. Sharp had a good chance as well to put the ball in the back, and that Kaminsky was phenomenal as well, putting up some really good saves as they tried to get themselves back into it. Let's take a look at some of the old shots then, shall we? Of course, the shotgun Rovers are represented by the orange. As you can see, a lot of the shots were on the cusps of outside the area, quite a few inside the box as well, as we try to pepper them and try to get the ball in the back of the net. As for Sheffield United, a lot of their shots were within the box, within the 18-yard box, couple of 1 or 2 long rangers as well. The likes of Conor Hoonane on the bench as well, didn't get to see them as well, which is a bit of a surprise. Woodwork was hit, blocked, shots blocked as well. All these kind of stats and figures there for you. 710 touches for Sheffield United compared to 538 for Rovers, and again 409 passes for them, 319 for us as well. How about the heat map? Again, Rovers were sparse compared to that of Sheffield United, but it doesn't really count or doesn't really matter if we win the game. As you can see, of course, preferring down the right hand side, the Nyambi effect. Of course, Taylor Dunn though, he's just I don't know, a rambling rover, I'm going to call him, right? He just gets everywhere, and of course he likes to drive forward, and I think that's what we've been brought here to do. Today it worked a treat for Rovers. I've just heard breaking news that Warnock has been fired, or they parted company with him. So you know what's going to happen over the international break? Would they seek out a Middlesbrough man, of course, to take over the reins for them, or what? Or is he going to stay put? I realistically think he'll stay put, really. They'll probably go for a Wilder or something like that. But anyway, that's by the by. Of course, Rovers, though, grinding out. Of course, Sheffield United, though, had a lot of ball, a lot of possession, of course, but didn't really make it count in the end. Again, as you can see where their possession was, actually predominantly in the defensive third here. Again, preferring down the left-hand side here, because you can see an orange sort of shade there. Of course, let's take a look at the match ratings then. Again, these are a third party's point of view. Again, I don't know what Taylor Dunn needs to get to bloody above a 7, but I thought he was phenomenal today. Khadra again, 6.9. I don't know what that's all about. Poveda got the man of the match, 8.5 for him. He was involved. Buckaroo as well, and Diaz with a goal. Kaminsky again, I thought he deserved more than a 6.9. As for Sheffield United, 7.2 for Brewster. Morgan Gibbs White with a 7.4, which is a little bit strange. Down the bottom there, you can see where all the events took place. A couple of yellow cards as well. Actually, quite a few for Sheffield United. A couple of there for Rovers as well. But ultimately, what we needed was a response from the midweek match against Fulham. We got that answer. Now, this is a team. You know what? Before the Fulham game, I would have taken 2 points from these 2 games, the Fulham and the Sheffield United one. So we've got 1 more than I'd bargained for. And as of recording, we will be in the top 6. But of course, at the end of the day, we'll not be in the top 6 because either Blackpool or QPR will replace us no matter what happens. Even if it's a draw, they'll go up. They've got the better goal difference. But of course, it doesn't matter. You know what? We don't really want to be there now. We want to be there a little bit closer to the end of the season. But for me, that is a massive result. This is a team that was in the Premier League last time around. Of course, a couple of key players are not involved with Sheffield United. No Sanderberg as well. Some other key players not involved. But for me, this is massive and a good bounce back ability for Rovers. What about Tony, though? Tony, of course, took a lot of flack this week. And again, I was part of that. I gave him a mouthful, gave him a piece of my mind. But you know what? I love this club and I want to see them do well. And performances like this shouldn't be a rarity. They should be the commonality. We should have these more often than, of course, the shit show that was, of course, midweek. That midweek was a nightmare. And, of course, it's still going to live it. It's going to give me nightmares for the rest of the season. If it ends up, of course, celebrating at Wembley or for whatever, then you know what? Who cares? You know, they'll be all be forgiven and forgotten. But of course, today goes a little bit to rectifying that wrong. And ultimately, I'm very, very happy with the 3 points today. And again, it's 1 point more than I would have thought at the start of the week. But anyway, here is Mowbray with his thoughts about the match, of course, and the rest.
Well, we talked about getting off to a good start and making sure we were still in the game after 20 minutes. Obviously, went down well. So we found ourselves one down after 80 seconds, was it? I'm not sure, but yeah, I thought they reacted extremely well. There's no surprise to me that that's what they do. I've been saying that. I think we all had to cope with the game midweek, but I think it showed great strength of character that this team, after the start we had today, to be able to come back and stick together and find a way to win. I don't think of football like that, really. I don't think we didn't settle down. I think they had a good bit of play down the right wing. I think Scotty Wharton got probably his first game back for a long time. He got caught in a foot race, really, and which he didn't win. And the boy pulled it back, and the lad ran off one of our players and volleyed it in. It's yeah, but I think the intention for our team was to be aggressive today and to play as we do on transition and try and affect them. I think we could have scored a lot more goals than what we did. How we didn't get a penalty first half still bemuses me. It's but listen, great credit to them. I think I need to mention the support did here, because I think they were with the team even when we went 1-0 down. It wasn't booing, there was total support for the team, and I think that had an effect on the fact of the way we reacted and ultimately got the result. And I'd like to think the fans, if they should come to football to try and enjoy the game, you know, win, lose or draw, really. And I think as long as they have a team that's fighting hard, they have to accept it, I think. And listen, I understand the human emotion. If you get beat, you can boo. That's fine. It's a personal thing. But I do think, as I've just said to the team in there, listen, we're like a family, and if somebody starts attacking your family, you stick together, and that's what the team did today. And I think we want to include all the supporters at the football club as part of the family, and I think they played their part in us winning today. Listen, it was a proper football match, and some days it's very difficult because you can hear every abusive shout from the stand. Some days it's difficult, and these are young players. I've said that. Listen, people can shout at me all they want. I'm pretty long in the tooth these days. I've been doing it for 20 years, and but I think young players need encouragement. They need to know that people are with them and supporting them. They're going to make mistakes, they're going to do daft things, but I think the crowd were great today. I think they drove the team on to victory, and as I understand, as I say to them, you know, what comes first? Does the team get the crowd going, or does the crowd get the team going? Well, I think the crowd got the team going today, despite going 1-0 down, and there'll be other days where the team have a great chance or a brilliant tackle from Travis or whatever it might be that gets the crowd ignited, but today collectively, supporters, team on the grass, got the job done.
Meanwhile, what's been said on social media, let's take a little look. Then shall we start with Josh Diaz, aka Josh Possible, said, lovely, well played Rovers. Wharton, Idun, Travis, Poveda, Buckley, Brereton all stand out and stood up. Well done to you. Bellas, aka Eric Bloom Monster, said, quite the grin appears to be across my shops right about now. This is why we do what we do always. Rovers till I die, hashtag Rovers. Jamie Tobias Amos said, what a response from the lads. Look at the difference having a crowd makes too. Funny that, even Poveda, what a performance too. Ryan Hildred from the Rovers chat, of course, delighted for all those fans that might have gone to the first time for a while today. Ewood, always a better place when it's fuller. Enjoy your evenings, folk. Don't we just love football. Meanwhile, Andy Watson, a few weeks ago I tweeted about a player who I thought wasn't even giving everything in a Rover shirt. That man was Ian Poveda. Ian, I apologise. You have turned it all around and been effing sensational today. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your effort and quality. Linz Lewis said, now that is a reaction. So proud of every player on the pitch and equally of every fan who turned up. I love you, Blackburn Rovers. Ryan Higgins said, can't knock that, lad. Been awful for ages. Every Rovers fan calling him and criticising his selection, but up he pops with an assist today for Poveda and a goal. Don't forget a goal. Of course, Chris Martin, we need a response to Wednesday night's debacle. We got one. Big style. Get in there, Rovers. Announce the 3 points. Before Aaron Talzuki said, fantastic result, Rovers. So proud of the lads after Wednesday. Fair play to the manager. The changes paid off and really freshened things up. Buzzing for Poveda and Khadra. Got a chance to show off what they're all about. Hopefully a result to unite us as a club, keeping back the team. Carl Wick said every player gave it all there. Fantastic response, and that's all we want. Would have been easy to lie down after conceding early, but we were class today. Congrats, Rovers. If we play like that, top 6 is still achievable. The Adder 180 says, well done, boys. Great to see the lone players finally chipping in. Great way to bounce back and go to the international break. That is massive. Well done, Rovers. This is John Robertson, and well done, Tony Mowbray. Took a lot of stick. Fantastic response from all. Well, we're in the top 6 for now. Ben, aka Gilros Blue, Gilrossi Blue. Huge credit to Mowbray, Stutz, Khadra, and Poveda, and they were 2 of the best players on the pitch today. Both scored and both were fantastic. Kudos, Tony. Tom Allen, well done, lads. Show the required backbone to having gone down. Jordan Montenegro says 3 points there were all that matters today after that performance Wednesday. Credit to their players. Elliot Bennett, of course, still watching, keeping an eye on Rovers as well. I think that's pretty much it. But yeah, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you're missing out on the treat because all the goals are on there. Sneaky. But anyway, let's take a look what else has gone on in the Championship. And like I said, we are in the playoffs as of recording. Blackpool and QPR will be a deciding factor. The result of that will affect where we are. A point would be great, which means we'll be level on point with QPR. But they have the superior goal difference, so we will be down but beneath them on this one. Oh, unless Blackpool win, of course, they will go above us as well and push us back into 7th. But anyway, kicking on forward, Coventry did beat Bristol. 5-goal thriller there. They remain in the top 6 as well. Cardiff, big win for them over Huddersfield. West Brom won. Middlesbrough won, of course. Bloody Warnock is out on his ear. Peterborough did lose to Fulham, just the 1-0. Show-offs. Millwall won, Derby won. Barnsley lost to Hull City, of course, 2-0 win for them. Big win for them as well. Nottingham Forest 3-0 win over Preston. Luton Town lost to Stoke, 1-0 win for them. Bournemouth 4-0 wins over Swansea. And as of recording, it was 1-1 between Birmingham and Reading. It might have changed, I think. It might have changed. But anyway, that's the situation. There's the league table at the moment. We are 6th. And like I said, we are 1 point above QPR. We do have a worse goal difference, of course, from that spanking, of course. But it is tight anyway. So it's good that we're in the contention anyway. Looking forward into the international break. Going into the international break on the back of a win is absolutely monumental. Sheffield United closer to the drop zone at the moment. So, of course, a bit of work for them to do as well. Hull picking up a big win as Peterborough also been grinding out the results recently. So good for them. Cardiff, Bristol City, they're in that mix. Of course, Reading, with some points deduction looming, they could also get sucked into it as well. They could be dragged in with Derby, of course. But anyway, this is what's coming at after the international break. QPR take on Luton. That's on Friday night. Sheffield United take on Coventry. That's, of course, they're returning a match. Huddersfield against West Brom. Middlesbrough against Millwall. Of course, probably new manager bounce there for Middlesbrough. And it's a shame. It's a weird one because they drew against West Brom away. I think it's a little bit strange unless they know they've got something else lined up. Maybe they got Chris Wilder lined up, probably. Meanwhile, Swansea take on Blackpool. Of course, that'll be an interesting one there. Hull City against Birmingham. Fulham against Barnsley. Of course, Reading against Forest. Stoke against Peterborough. Preston against Cardiff. Derby against Bournemouth. But of course, the game of the day will be at Thrashton Gate as Bristol City take on Rovers. And again, that watch along will be live. It will be on the road, probably either in Georgia or in the car. It's going to be in a car. I've just tweaked some technology there to hopefully be able to do a watch along in a car. I'll be watching it on one phone and I'll be streaming on the other or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, Rovers bounce back ability. 3-1 winners over Sheffield United. That's what we needed. And of course, we'll go into the international break with the 3 points. We won't be in the top 6. That's guaranteed. We'll be at least, we'll probably be 7th. And of course, anyway, that's it, my friends. Looking forward to relaxing and looking forward to maybe catching Diaz in a La Rocca shirt, boys and girls. But anyway, thanks again for watching. Thanks again. Make sure you bang your subscribe, bang your thumbs up, of course. I'm looking forward to seeing you back again after the international break. But until then, be safe out there. And of course, keep on supporting the Blackburn Rovers. Love it.